Hi, I'm Verlan, and welcome to the Verlan Show. We're right here in the beautiful home of country music, Nashville, Tennessee. Stay with us for the next hour. We're going to show some videos, read some emails, and talk about you, our life, the heritage, talk about God, America, and talk about everything in Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia. And we're going to talk about Living Faith TV, the one that got me out here today to where I can talk to you. I want you someday to come and be on the show. Send your emails. Get in touch if you'd like to be a guest here on the Verlan Show. Be glad to have you here. I'd like to say to you that we're going to talk about Cheyenne country during the show. It's where my videos are going to be aired at. They actually start this right after you watch this show. You can actually turn on to a channel, and I'm about to tell you just in a little bit where it's going to be, so you got to stay tuned. And you can actually, when this show's over, you can go right to it, and you can watch The Price of Freedom Just Went Up. It's going to be right on Cheyenne country. It's the old TNN, if I understand right, network. And we're just so proud that they're playing my music. The Price of Freedom, I wrote it about Freddie Don and Ronnie Lawson in Siler, Kentucky, right back there in my hometown. And Siler, Kentucky, Pineville, Freddie Don and Ronnie were brothers that served in Vietnam, gave their precious life for you and me, that we could have this freedom today. And so stay with us. We got a lot going on here, but we are in beautiful, beautiful downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Got to tell you, there's no other place like it. No place like home, don't forget that, but there's no other place like Nashville, Tennessee when it comes to country music. I'd like to tell you right now, we have some very special people that is on our prayer chain, prayer list. We want you to pray for. Tyler Carnes, 16 years old. He's in Children's Hospital up in Cincinnati, Ohio. Tyler is awaiting a heart transplant. His mother, his dad, they're there with Tyler, standing by his side. He needs your prayers. He needs everyone's prayers. Take it to your heart like that was your son. He's 6'5" and only 16 years old. And we're praying that God will provide a heart for Tyler, or he could restore that one that he's already got, that God gave him. And just keep Tyler in your prayers, his family, and continue to pray. And we'll keep you updated right here on the Verlan Show. And also, I want to recognize Glenda Williams. Glenda, God bless you. Glenda has just found out recently. She goes back to the doctor. Matter of fact, went back to the doctor this week. And she has cancer-free. Thanks to you, your prayers, your faith in God, and believing in prayer and the hope of Jesus Christ and healing. So I want you to keep in mind that right here on the Verlan Show, we're going to email us. Send us your prayer request. We will read them right here on the Verlan Show. Send it to the Verlan Show at yahoo.com. And we'll put it here on the Verlan Show. We'll have prayer for everyone out there on the prayer list, on the prayer chain. And what we want to do, we're actually setting up as I speak. We're setting up a Facebook just for a prayer chain. So what you can actually do in the future, you can go on the Verlan Show Facebook, and you can actually put on the wall, if you have a family member that needs prayer, you can put it right there on the wall and do it yourself. And that way people can be praying from everywhere, not just in your community, but everywhere they can be praying for your family in need. So let's move on with the Verlan Show. Talking about prayer request, talking about God, talking about America, talking about let our children pray, talking about 20 years or more. We're talking about songs that I have wrote, and we have actually did videos on, you're going to meet the man behind that. You're about to meet him just in a little bit. He is actually my guest tonight. Alan Coleman, he owns Coleman Teleproductions. And Alan is I got a hands down. Alan has went to bat for me. Him and Vince, they have put my videos out there. Cheyenne Country is just, I'm talking, they played it this week, 2 different times this week on channels. It's going out to 60 million people plus. And they're looking at overseas. I'm going to tell you about that in just a little bit. Talk more about that when Alan's here with me. And all I can say is step up, reach out to your community. Let's try to do something in our community to bring prayer back to the classroom. You know, I wrote several songs around America, our soldiers, but I find that prayer is one of the most needed things. That's what brings us in to a more perfected, a better life. That's what brings our generation of people up to be acknowledged and know about the love of Jesus Christ and the price that He paid on the cross of Calvary. We don't want our children to go out into the world blind. And the main thing that we should address in life is to make sure that they know about Jesus Christ and the ultimate price that He paid on the cross of Calvary. I realize that prayer starts at home. And I was actually in church with Brother Reeves this week at Faber Baptist Church down in actually below Corbin in Williamsburg. And Carolyn Reeves, his wife, gave a testimony that just, I can't even tell you. We were in church there. I can't even tell you how I got lifted up. And they're in revival, been in revival this week. And the most important thing, as I listened to Mr. Reeves, Pastor Reeves talk this week, prayer starts at home. But let me tell you something. There's children out there today and families out there today that are in 2 different homes, and we hate to say that. They have to share their love with another parent that lives in another town or in another household. And that's important that we reach out and make a difference in the school system, that we get that brought back to our classrooms, that our children will have that right that they deserve to pray. And that's why I filmed the video. We shot the video, Let Our Children Pray. That's why God gave me the song to write. And my little girl told me the night I was writing it, she said, "Daddy, it's another sad day," so we had to put that in there. It's been another sad day in a lot of our schools out there, a lot of the environment. We want to reach out. We don't want to be just sit down and go, hey, hey, hey. I mean, we want to really pray about it. Prayer is what changes things. Getting upset about it or being belligerent about it is not going to get anything done. What we got to do is we got to turn to God and say, God, no matter what people puts on us, no matter what people do to us, we must pray. We must believe in prayer, fervent prayer. If we don't pray, then we get nothing done. It's like someone told me, again, just this week, I was on the telephone, and God bless your heart, you know who I'm talking about, said, Verlan, just live right. And so now I carry that right here. And Sheila, you know who I'm talking about. If we don't live right, what do we have? We have to show effort. If you went out on your job and you went to work and you got there and go, hey, I showed up. It's the performance after you show up. When you start serving God, it's what you do when you make that turn. When you step to the plate and that blood is applied to our life, it's then that we make that change to make a difference in someone's life. And that's what Let Our Children Pray is about. 20 years or more, I wrote it about the coal miners. I wrote it about the happenings in our life. I wrote it about so many things that has took place, the Twin Towers, the wars we've had that's impacted our nation. That's just leaves us at loss of words. Where were you when the world stopped turning? If we do not address these things with God, nothing will ever be done. We cannot lean toward man. Oh yes, man can make a difference. But we must lean to God to have that understanding. In your community, with your youth, teach them. And when I say youth, it's not just the young ones. Prayer has been taken out of our classroom for over 50 years now. Madeline O'Hare placed that curse upon America. And our families have been devastated. And this generation of people today, they're not to blame. Because the older people taught it to you and me. Now, who will teach it to our children? This generation of people, some say they fail. No, they haven't failed. The promise of God does not fail. There will be many things happen, and through Bible history, we find that there's no way to change God's will other than to humbly seek Him, and He can make a difference and change things, but His will be done. Because on the cross of Calvary, when Jesus Christ said, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. He died for that, for God's will. And bad times are going to happen, like Pastor Reeves was talking about in church last Sunday, up at Faber Baptist. He said these things are going to happen. And when I see them happen, people will say to me, and I'll say, yes, it's got to happen. That is true. He said not a jot, tittle, nothing would pass away. His word will not be moved. But we, as people, can make a difference with our children and the future of our community. Every area has a different culture. Every area tends to do things a little bit different. So what to do is get on the computer, type into your friends and say, hey, cousin, out in California, down in Florida, will you do something for me? Will you start something in your community? When you go to church, talk to your youth pastor, talk to the preacher, talk to someone, YMCA, anything. Round the flagpole. Get out there with those children and stand around that flagpole. Parents, go out there in the morning. Show your effort. Show your support. Go out there and stand around that flagpole with them. Every event that happens in that school, naturally you're going to go to it. Their ball games and stuff. But when it comes down to their prayer, their special meetings, please go to it. I'm asking you. You can make that difference. You may say, I can't make a difference. I can't change Washington, D.C. No, you can't. You can vote the vote and trust in them too. But prayer can change that. And the community effort of going out in your community and starting, God doesn't turn that away. He doesn't pay the price. You're not paying the price. He paid it already. And He made that promise. If we'll act on it, if we'll step out there, God will make a difference. So, I'm going to get off that subject right now and move on with the conversation here. I don't want to linger too long, but we've got a great show ahead of us. So stay with us. And right now, I want you to watch this video. This video is The Price of Freedom Just Went Up. And it will be playing when this is over, right now, when this show's over. This video will be played on Cheyenne Country. And what channel is that? I'll tell you just in a moment. Be right back. I'm Verlan and with The Verlan Show.
It was 69 and the war was going on when a letter arrived at the Lawson home back in Siler, Kentucky. Oh, and it brought bad news. It read, Mom, I'm in trouble here in Vietnam. Tell Carl to stay in school, he don't need to come. And things are sure bad over here, and if something goes wrong and I don't make it home, just know that I love you, Mom, and please pray for me. Love, Ronnie. That's when the price of freedom's just went up again. Ronnie's mother started to cry every time the news came on. She feared that another one of her sons would not be coming home again, because the price of freedom's just went up. Carl didn't go to college, he went to Vietnam. See what Uncle Sam did not know, but about 2 years ago, Carl and Ronnie's older brother, Freddie Don, he didn't make it back from Vietnam. That's when the price of freedom just went up again. That 21 gun salute still echoes in the wind, and every time a soldier has to die, the price goes up again. I pledge allegiance, it's not a brag, just the promise of a soldier to a proud old flag. So don't you throw them in the dirt, or somebody's gonna get hurt. That's when the price of freedom's just went up again. Somewhere some mother starts to cry every time the news comes on. She fears that her son or her daughter's not coming home again, because the price of freedom's just went up again. So tell me, does the price of freedom, does it ever have an end? And will this price of freedom ever stop going up again and again? Because the price of freedom's just went up again. It was still 69 and the war was going on when 2 soldiers arrived at the Lawson home. You see, they came back to Salad, Kentucky for the second time and brought more bad news, and said Ronnie was gone.
The price of freedom just went up. Alan, I told you all I was going to have a special guest, and here he is, Alan Coleman with Coleman Teleproductions. Alan, we're on Living Faith TV. Tell them everything I paid you to tell good about me. Come on.
Well, we have done 3 videos for Verlan, and the price of freedom, I think, and along with 20 years or more, they tell a real story. 20 years or more tells the story of the miners in eastern Kentucky, and the price of freedom just went up, tells the story of our servicemen who go abroad to fight the battles and never come back. And we were able to get the honor guards in from Washington to do the price of freedom, and we were able to get the mothers in that lost their sons And you'll see this on the video, and that's what's made the video so impressive. It's so lifelike. It tells that story. The video that we did on Eastern Kentucky and the coal miners, 20 years or more.
Had a great time up there, didn't we, Alan?
It's very impressive. I mean, Verlan goes up there with the miners. He goes in the mines. He talks to them. He sings to them. They tell their stories to him. And these are people who work every day in those mines, who have started working in those mines at 12 and 13 years old, and will probably work until they can't work anymore. That's a video that you need to see. It tells the story again. Every video that we do for Verlan and for other people is that we tell the story.
Oh, you do.
Whatever the song is, we try to recreate the story. So I hope you enjoy those videos. I know you're going to see them tonight. And it's been a pleasure working with Verlan. Verlan is a very good hearted and real good producer, a good singer. He can put a story across to you. I've seen him on the stage live when he just ad-libs, and his ad-libbing is so good. Everybody just claps and applauds. They really get a lot out of what Verlan is saying, and that's very important in this business.
Thank you, Alan. I got to say this, Alan. Let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
We went to Harlan, Kentucky, up to Leggett, went to Redbird Mission School, back to my hometown in Bell County, Harlan County, Kentucky. We actually went out there to my old home place up in Stony Fork. And I got to tell you, I watched Alan out there that day. I watched how they just put it together, and his staff went in, and I mean, you could just watch them build the creativity to what was going on. They knew what they wanted to see. They knew what they wanted to bring out, and my God, did they. And we went up to Leggett Mines. Those miners were so dedicated. They were so, like you said, Alan, they started working young. They deserve their jobs, and that is one of the main reasons this show has got to go on, the Verlan Show. We're headed to Alan, I don't know hardly how to say it exactly. We're on a mission to make a change and bring back the heritage ways to Eastern Kentucky and to my hometown, to your area, West Virginia, Tennessee, all up in there, Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio. We're all up in there. Coal business, it's all over the United States of America. But the coal miners deserve the right to mine coal. They deserve that right. It's a way of life that, Alan, should have never been damaged, should have never been pushed aside like it has. DC's got to do something for us. We got to make a change up there, Alan.
And we're doing that. I worked for WSM Television for a number of years, and of course WSM Television at the time owned the Grand Ole Opry, and we used to go out and cover the Opry. And two of the stars that we covered at the Opry were Loretta Lynn, who Eastern Kentucky, and Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's Eastern Tennessee. Both of them are raised in the mountains. Both of them are mountain girls.
Oh, yeah.
And both of them were big, and you know how big they are as Opry stars.
And they came from a coal area, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee up there. They were just country girls, and they believed in a way of life that would always be, and my God, I mean, you're talking about a legend in their own time. The legacy will always live on, Alan.
That's right.
Of Loretta Lynn, the coal miner's daughter, of Dolly Parton, the little girl from up there in East Tennessee. It will always live on because the love of country music, the love of their heritage. And I got to tell you something. We're talking about Dolly Parton. We get books in the mail from from Dolly's. I mean, she sends our daughters books. I mean, and I'm sure that you all have received them too. And I think she matches every child that wants to go that lives in Sevier County up there in Pigeon Forge. She puts them through college and helps them. I mean, they've done so much. So how can you say anything about somebody that reaches out and has that kind of love that lasts forever? We got to get behind the people back there.
I would love to take our crew, our cranes, our crew and lighting people, and go back to Loretta Lynn's Butcher Holler, show where she lived, show the area, and have Verlan there with us to do a nice story or a nice video on Butcher Holler.
Country Girl's Life.
Right. And that is, we've been talking about doing that, and we're going to do that, and then you'll get to see it on this network. So
that will probably be our next video. It's called A Country Girl's Life. And actually, I just told my wife today, I said, put that back up on YouTube. So go to YouTube and watch A Country Girl's Life. You can hear it, and we just got some pictures there. It's kind of a slide video, temporary, until the official video will be shot. And this man right here and his crew will be the one to do that video. It's called A Country Girl's Life. And we're going back to Butcher Holler. And you know who I got to give the credit for this? This man right here, Alan Coleman. He called me up one night and he said, Verlan, I heard your new song. I said, Alan, what do you think? He said, I love it. He said, we got to go back to Butcher Holler. He said, we got to go back there and film this video in eastern Kentucky. We got to roll in there, take the cameras, and get it done. And we're going to. We got to take the cameras back there and make it happen.
So we've got a lot planned for the future. Coleman Teleproductions is going to work very closely with Verlan, and we hope to be able to cover a lot of very interesting places for y'all up in eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, and the Nashville area, to where you'll get a lot of benefit out of it, and that's our next project.
Oh, yes, it is. And the thing about it is, Alan, I want to stress this right here, right now. This show is called The Verlan Show. There was a beautiful lady that was like a mom to me, named this show, Ethel Lawson. She would watch the videos and she would say, I want to watch The Verlan Show. And she was like a mom to me. And I remember ever since, Alan, I was just a little bitty boy. I would walk up to the store and sell my pop bottles and buy candy in Stony Fort, Kentucky. Brad and Ethel Lawson, they're up there looking down right now. And I'm so proud of that area. I'm so proud of what we're doing, Alan. And the Verlan Show is about, let me stress this, it's about bringing back a heritage, a way of life, Alan, that we fought for. The soldiers that we sang about, Freddie, Don, and Ronnie Lawson, Tommy Lawson. I could go on and on of the people that gave their life and back with us today that made it back home. But you know, someone told me once, said that little boy that left on that bus, that Greyhound bus, and went off to war, is not the same one that came home inside. They come back with a heartbreak, a devastation, so superseded and advanced, had to give up their family to fight for this freedom, Alan. They deserve the honor. They deserve the honor for this freedom we have right now. I stand behind our soldiers, and we want to see that way of life come back. That's what we're fighting for, Alan. We're fighting for that way of life. We want prayer back in our classroom, and it's you out there that can make the difference. Alan and I are just limited. Artists, singers, writers, creators, they can write books, they can make movies, they can make videos, but it takes the people, doesn't it, Alan? It takes the fans out there. It takes the people that believe in a way of life, a heritage, that believe that they can make a difference and bring back what our generation, as I was talking about earlier, our younger generation of people, it's not their fault, because prayer was taken out of the classroom over 50 years ago, Alan. And since then, we've had devastation, and it just keeps getting more and more aggressive to take away that faithful hope in society.
And we need to put prayer back into the schools. We need to have the students sing the national anthem and to pray. That's very important. To have that happen. The government has taken all that away today, and we're trying to get it back. And eventually it will come back. It'll be God's will for it to come back. To have the amazing thing about it, we did a thing for a Catholic school in Nashville not long ago, and of course they say the national anthem and they say prayers every morning, and they go to church I think every day, and I'm sure there are other religious schools that do the same thing.
Yes.
But the public schools and the state schools, they do not do that, and that's against the law. And Verlan is trying to get that back in the schools, and he's doing a good job.
Together we can do that, Alan.
Together we can do that. Together
help.
Television can do that. Together you can help us do that.
Oh yeah.
By writing your senators and your Congress people, your government people, try to get the prayers and the national anthem back into the schools.
And show their movement in their community.
That's right.
And that's what I keep stressing. If you get out in the community and show up out there at school when they're standing around the flagpole in the morning, just pull up and park in that parking lot, walk up there beside of your son or daughter, and get a hold of their hand and say, hey, we're here to pray with you. We're here to support what you're doing, and we're proud of the youth. Alan, it's got to happen.
Well,
he died for
it. It's been my pleasure being on your show with you today, and I wish you all the success in the world. I know you're going to have success.
Well,
you're too good not to have success.
Well, you don't know how much I paid Alan to say this tonight. I had to borrow some money. But anyway, Alan, thank you. I know you mean that. I know you mean that, and thank you for all the videos. Thank you for all the hard work. I tell you, we went back to Redbird. I got to tell you this. We went back to Redbird School, and Alan went in there, went into the classrooms. They just turned the school over to what Alan wanted to do that day, and Dr. Collins.
And you know the amazing thing about it? We had the kids out around the flagpole singing the national anthem, and we had the kids in the classrooms saying prayers, and it's in that video.
Oh, yes, and you know, we went up to get some dental work done up there in eastern Kentucky over near Beattiesville, and actually saw the mom and the daughter. If you remember, Alan, the young lady that you actually put it in the video. You were the one that said, hey, I want that put in there, where she's bowing her head in 20 years or more. If you watch that video, that young lady that's bowing her head, we were up there at the dentist office in Beattiesville, Kentucky, and actually that mother came up to me and said, I know who you are. Said, you were the one that came to Redbird Mission, which is Redbird Christian School now, and came up there and did the video, and said my daughter, and she came walking up, was the one that's in the video, and that touched my heart. What do you say? I mean, that's what it's about. It's called results. It's called making a difference. It's called seeing fruit for your labor. I'm counting on you. I'm Verlan with the Verlan Show with Alan Coleman. We're going to watch 20 years or more right now. We've been talking about it. We're going to go watch 20 years or more, and I'll be right back on the Verlan Show.
Like it was 20 years or more. It was back before these gas prices were high, before Challenger fell from that blue sky. It was long before Desert Storm, before those Twin Towers fell on that cold September morn. And when the world stopped turning, we all wanted to turn it around. So can we big black eye, it won't ever heal with time. Old Glory earned her stripes, she's still one of a kind. We all like our luxury, but tell me, is it worth more than being free? Because when the world stopped turning, we all wanted to turn it around. Can we slow it down, turn it back around like it was 20 years or more? So tell me, have we lost our pride, or has it died, or did it get locked away behind yesterday's door? With 20 long years or more. Oh, yeah. Oh, 20 long years or more. Why can't our children pray in school and pledge allegiance to that old red, white, and blue? Or will it still be locked up behind yesterday's door? With 20 long years or more. Oh, yeah. Oh, 20 long years or more. Oh, yeah. 20 long years. Oh.
I'm back with you. I'm Verlan with The Verlan Show. In case you just tuned in, we just had a great interview with Alan Coleman, the owner of Coleman Teleproductions, the one that is behind the videos that you see on YouTube and that you're about to see on Cheyenne Christian Network, the OTNN. I'm going to tell you everywhere you can watch that just in a little bit. You're going to be able to watch my videos along with new artists that's coming up on Cheyenne Country, and I'm going to tell you just in a little bit. But before that, I want to tell you something about Alan Coleman, okay? The man I just had on here. You see this? This is Emmy Awards. This, over 20 years, Alan has been getting these. These are so beautiful. These are just unbelievable. This one here is from 1992 in my left hand. He's got shelves of them. I can't even tell you what the man has done for country music, for so many artists. The videos that he has filmed for people down through the years is incredible. When we go out on site with him, you just feel like you're at home. And I can't say enough good things about him. And also, just in case you tuned in, we want you to pray for someone. Earlier in the show, we talked about Tyler Carnes, 16-year-old young man that's in Children's Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio. Tyler's awaiting a heart transplant. He's 6'5". We're praying that God will provide him with the strength, renew that heart in him, and touch his life and make it possible. And he can do that, and I believe he will, that Tyler will get to come home with his family. We want you to remember Tyler in prayer. And Glenda Williams from Harlan, Kentucky, cancer-free. She went back to the doctor this week. She's known it for several weeks now. Cancer-free, Glenda, we love you. We're so proud. Prayer works. Prayer changes things. I'd like to talk to you about my sponsors right now. I have some people that are just, I mean, they're incredible. First of all, I'd like to talk about Vets Serving Vets. Doug Bayless. I went over August the 2nd to Middlesboro, Kentucky, and did a show with Jimmy Rose and different ones over there that sang. I think Timmy Good and different ones was there. Had a great show. They just blew me away. Their talent is so great, so unbelievable, the talent that actually comes from the mountains back in there, that's hidden talent. And we went over and did the show, and it just touched my heart. Me and Abrianna, my little girl, we sang. Just everything was so good, and we got down to the last little bit of the show, and they came to me and asked me, and they were doing putting another name on the wall of another soldier that day that had gave their life for our freedom, and they asked me to come in to that table, Sarah. It was like where they set the table out. I don't want to call it out of context here, but it's where they enter their name and they have the table. All I can tell you, if you've never been to one, the next time you ever get the opportunity to do that, you should go. It'll make you really appreciate what a soldier is about. It'll make you moms and dads see things a lot clearer. It'll make you see what your son or daughter goes through to protect this country and how blessed they are to make it back home. They came over to me and they said, "Hey, would you come over and stand with us?" And I got to tell you, that was the most honorable thing. Thank you, Doug Bayless. Thank you, men that are out there building decks, building walks, building porches. I don't know. They're just doing everything around Bell County and the area back home there in Kentucky. And Doug Bayless, y'all are doing a great job. Y'all fought for our freedom. You gave us freedom here in America, brother. And proud of you. Proud of what you're doing. You didn't stop fighting. You came home. And you're still fighting a great fight. You're helping people in need. And that's what it's about. We're proud of you. And I promise you, we're coming out to be on site with you. We're going to bring cameras out. I've done talk to them here. That we're going to bring cameras out. We're going to find out exactly where you're doing a deck, where you're building a porch, whatever you're doing around for our soldiers, for our people. And we're going to come out, we're going to film it. We're going to put you on the spot and let you do an interview. And we're going to air it right here on the Verlan Show, Living Faith TV. Okay, next I would like to talk about Bolton's Towing in Corbin. Bolton's has believed in the Verlan Show. My wife went and talked to him. Gene Boland said yes. I will sponsor the Verlan Show. And I got to tell you something. That's what makes a difference down here. When someone reaches out for the cause, not for Verlan, not because he was a character and an outlaw all these years, but because he saw the change. He saw the change in our life, our neighborhood. He saw the heartbreak in our families. And anything to do good or make a change, that's what Gene, Rusty, all of them are about at Bolton's Towing. If you have big rigs that run across the country, that come through Corbin, Kentucky, or in that area, up and down Interstate 75, put them in your computer. Send them an email. Set your account up with them. You local people there that need help, call Bolton's Towing. They'll take care of you and they'll be good to you. They'll treat you like family. I know that. They've treated my family just like their family. Travis Slusher, Slusher Auto Sales. I know Travis personally. He's been a great friend. Helped us through the toy drive we had back in 2012 there. Just did so many good things. He's got a lot of classic cars. You people out of state there. He goes to Rod Run, goes to Gatlinburg. Go up there. Go to Rod Run, call Travis. It's Slusher's Auto Sales, Grays, Kentucky. Get in touch with Travis. He'll do you right. And also, I'd like to talk about a friend of mine. And I'm going to call him a friend because our little girl had to go to Vanderbilt, to the hospital, St. Joe's, and then we took her out to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. And when all this was going on and we were under a lot of stress, stopped by there one day for something, just trading or something. I forget what it was. We stopped by there to do a title, and when we started to leave, Mark said, "Hey, so I feel to do something." And he got his checkbook out and he wrote a check and he gave it to my wife. I got to tell you, Mark Motors, Grays, Kentucky, right on US 25. If you're going down 25 like you're going from Barbersville to Corbin, Kentucky, on US 25E, if you get off at exit 29 there at Corbin, just go straight toward Barbersville. He's right between Corbin and Barbersville on US 25. Go by and see Mark Motors. They'll treat you right, and they'll be good to you. He was good to my family. He was good to my little girl. He wrote that check from the heart, and he done it because of my little girl, for the cause. That's the kind of people we need. Let's stick with the people that grew up and came up the hard way and built their business and built it on repeat business and caring about their people and their local community. That's who I'd like for you to trade with, and that's who I want to trade with. Okay, we're going to move on here. Do we have anybody else out there? Yes, we do. Lighthouse Ministries. Lighthouse Ministries up in Bell County, Kentucky. I can't even tell you. Oklahoma, anything I've done. Toy Drive, just open the doors to me. Give me a trailer to use up there for the toy drive. They've just been so inspirational in what we're doing. James Teeney, I can't thank you enough, James. I can't thank you for what you're doing for that community up there. They give out food at Christmas time. They give out food every day. They have dental. They have a doctor that comes up there. They have a homeless shelter they just bought there in Pineville recently. They build it up. They give out groceries to people. I saw people come in there and actually come in with a sad look on their face. Someone that has been without a job because of the tough times we've had with the coal business back there and what's went on. And people that's been always self-reliant, worked, people that shouldn't have to be doing that, but had to because they had children, and it wasn't their fault and it isn't your fault because the jobs are failing back there. And I saw them come in there, and I've actually been right there and saw people like that come in. But when they leave there, the greetings of Tony, Carolyn, Sharon, James, those people there, they make the difference. And I was up there, and they're giving out their, sent home the backpacks for the children after school. I could just go on and on. If you're out there and you're in the industry, you have a position that you can reach out and you can make a difference. If you're a manager, general manager, or know someone in factories, companies out there that actually help people that help the people, they know the people that's in need. And if you are in a position to make a phone call, wherever you're at, whatever your position is, please do so. Christmas is coming up here not before long, and it won't be long. Christmas will be around, and we want those children back there in eastern Kentucky and in your community, wherever you are, we want them to receive help. So if you have someone in your area like Lighthouse Ministries that's doing that, my God, support them. Do anything you can. Okay, we're going to move on with the show now. I have some emails that I want to read, and I'll tell you, I'm just so honored. Live in Faith TV. I want to tell you all something about Live in Faith TV. This is actually my second show. Got an email the other day. You're not going to believe this. Seattle, Washington. Seattle, Washington. I got an email from Linda, and she was just so proud of what we were doing and referred to it as being the only real talk show that's ever come to eastern Kentucky. Wow, am I proud. I'd like to continue on with this, and I can't do it if we all don't work together. We must send emails. I'm asking you. Send an email to the Verlan Show. Let me know what you think. I don't care if you think I'm talking too much or whatever. Tell me how to run the show. It's your show. It's called the Verlan Show. It's about your heritage. It's about your people. It's about where you come from. And it's about where you want to live. It's where you want to raise your children. It's a way of life. It's not a religious act. It's about salvation. And we got to do it. We got to stand up for what's right. We want our children to pray in school. We'll be right back. We're going to watch Jesus is Not a Little Baby Anymore. When you see that nativity scene, know that Jesus is not a little baby anymore. 33 and a half years, he lived. Went through a lot. He suffered a lot. And they crucified him in shame, but in honor of the promise that you and I got through his death. He said, not my will, but thy will be done, as I was talking about earlier. He gave us the most important, greatest gift that could ever be given to man and woman. He gave us the gift of life and eternal life. So watch this video right here. Jesus is not a little baby anymore.
She was barely 16. They said he was too young to be a dad. Everyone in that small town, except that boy's father, was mad. The odds were against a little newborn baby child. But those wise men believed in that star that hang in the sky. Do you know Jesus? He's not a little baby anymore. He's over 200 pounds and he stands about 6'4". That nativity scene you see, that's only the way it used to be long before. My God, Jesus, he's not a little baby anymore. My God, Jesus, he's not a little baby anymore. Now she's barely 16, and the apple of her grandpa's eyes. And although I try to hide it, sometimes that little girl sees me cry. They say time heals the broken heart of a mortal man, but it'll never take away those nail scars in his hands. Do you know Jesus? He's not a little baby anymore. He's over 200 pounds and he stands about 6'4". That nativity scene you see, that's only the way it used to be long before. Do you know Jesus? He's not a little baby anymore. Do you know Jesus? He's not a little baby anymore. He's over 200 pounds and he stands about 6'4". That nativity scene you see, that's only the way it used to be long before. My God, Jesus, he's not a little baby anymore.
Jesus is not a little baby anymore. What a video. So true. He is not a little baby anymore. He's coming back after us one day real soon. We're about to wrap up the show here on the Verlan Show. So glad you all tuned in. Come back. It'll actually be 2 weeks from now. It's on the first Saturday of next month, and we're actually working toward getting a spot every week on 4 o'clock. I'll get it right here in a minute. Every Saturday at 4 o'clock. And I want you all to pray that God will make a way for us to do it every week instead of every first and third Saturday. We're going to wrap the show up real soon. I want to tell you about Cheyenne, okay? I want to tell you about Cheyenne Country TV. It's the website is CheyenneCountry.tv. I want you to check this out. Uplift TV, okay? Heartland, the Family Channel. This is everywhere now that you can watch this out there. Wherever you're listening to me, you'll have to go look it up, but this is where it comes on out. It airs on Uplift TV, Heartland, the Family Channel, Parables Television Network, WATC, Atlanta's 57, Atlanta, Georgia. Hope TV, Toronto, Canada. You people in Canada, go to Hope TV in Toronto, Canada. AIB, Atlanta Interfaith Broadcasters. You people in Atlanta. WHFL TV, 43, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Love you people in North Carolina. Good Life TV, 45, Orlando, Florida. Good Life TV, 45, Orlando, Florida. That goes, if I understand right, that goes all up and down the coast there. It goes all down Orlando, Okeechobee, all down in there. Larry Lanier, you better watch this, brother. We love you. Hold on a minute. I just realized when this show's over, now when I'm done talking here and you see the end of this show, go over to Heartland, because the minute I go off, then you can go on to Heartland Network and watch The Price of Freedom Just Went Up. They're going to play it. Go watch Cheyenne. Go watch them right now. As soon as this show's over, as soon as I tell you goodbye, click over there and watch them. And tomorrow morning, you can watch it on the Family Channel. On Family Channel at 7:30 a.m. Central Time, Cheyenne Country. Awesome, 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 awesome show. Y'all got to watch that. Hey, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to say goodbye to you until next time. Cheyenne actually goes into over 60 million homes as we speak. Listen, next time, tune in with us. I'll be back 2 weeks from today. I'll actually be back on the first Saturday of next month. So God bless you all. Until then, I'm Verlan with The Verlan Show, right here on Living Faith TV. Love y'all. See you then.
I heard angels sing